seen my video and to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Remember, in the last video I told you that there is nothing more that I love to do than to shock people. And this video is the second video in our sequence of the verb tenses where we will talk about past. And there will be nothing more shocking than how we use past that English teachers will kill me about. Well, let's start with a simple past. And the first thing that those people who know a little English, especially English teachers, you will say, Valerio, I got you. Is it possible that simple past be binary? And the answer is yes. How can simple past be binary? Well, I have two surprises for you. Surprises number one. Let's talk about simple past for a second. And let's remember how English teachers taught us to think about simple past. We always were taught that simple past is something that finishes. So if you say that I ate dinner yesterday, you're supposed to have finished your dinner. Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe you ate your dinner and you left part of your dinner for the next day. Did you finish your dinner? So this is the problem of simple past. So let's think a little bit, what does it mean, the words simple past? Well, first of all, the word simple means one thing, which is something I like a lot. I think simple past does a lot have to do with one thing. And more specifically, maybe it has something to do with one moment in time. And that's why simple past is simple past. And the word past means is when it's before now. So let's take a look at an example of possible simple pasts. If we say yesterday, and we say that yesterday I ate dinner, wonderful. We're talking about that moment in time, and that's great. And if you say on December 25th, I had a computer, does that mean that I no longer have a computer? Did I finish having a computer? What about that my example of I have a computer we apply to yesterday? Well, yesterday not only did I have a dinner, yesterday I also had a computer. Did I finish having a computer? Do I no longer have a computer? Well, my computer right now is connected to this beautiful Hyundai television. And it's showing what my computer has on it on the screen. So we can look at it. So it's for sure that yesterday when I had a computer, I didn't finish having a computer. On December 25th of 2020, I had a computer. This computer was mine on December 25th. Did I finish having a computer on December 25th? Obviously not. My computer is connected, so I still have it. So I didn't finish having it. Last night, I had the computer. I was preparing my video classes. So I was using my computer last night. That means last night I had a computer. Well, if yesterday I had a computer, last night I had a computer, and on the 25th of December I had a computer, when did I finish having a computer? That's a good question for the English teachers, right? Well, simple past has nothing to do with the finish. But you say, but wait a second. There are examples when simple past is a finish. And I will agree with you and with the English teachers. But remember, English, Valerio says, is binary. That means there's something special, there's a surprise about simple past. So the question is, this point in time, is it necessary for it to finish? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. This is the binary simple past. So how do you know when simple past is a finish and when it's not? Very simple. All you have to do is look at the meaning of the verb that you're using. If the meaning of the verb automatically means it's a finish, then there's no problem. Then simple past we can use just like a finish. Any examples? For sure. Let's take a look at an example. I want to open a marker. What did I do? I opened a marker. Did I finish opening the marker? Yes, I did. It's finished. It's open. So, and then what I will do is I will close the marker. Is the marker closed? Yes, it's closed. Did I finish closing? Yes, I did. Well, you can open the marker or you can close the marker. But what else can you do? Can you break the marker? Yes, you can. So what I will do right now, I will break the marker. Did I finish breaking the marker? Yes, I did. The marker is broken. So if I broke the marker, that means that it is finished. Now the question is it possible for me to fix the marker? So if I say that I will fix the marker, and I fix the marker, now did I finish fixing the marker? Yes, I did. So in this case, simple past is a finish. What about when you graduated from your school or university? Do you have a diploma? You do. Did you finish it? You did. So the word graduated means finish. What about the word finish? If I finished playing with a marker, I don't have a marker anymore. Did I finish playing with a marker? I did. So in these cases, there are certain verbs that have a meaning of a finish. But there are verbs where you don't have meaning of finish. For example, remember, Valerio has a computer. Valerio has a computer. Does that mean that did I finish having a computer? No. If I had a computer, did I finish having a computer? No, I still have a computer. Valerio still has a computer. What about die? Do people finish dying? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So a person can die, and then the people from emergency will come and use electric shock, and then the person is alive. So the person died at a certain moment, but he didn't die completely. So there's a different way of saying that something actually finished the process of dying. What about learn? You learned something new today. You learned something new today about simple past. Did you finish learning about simple past? Or will you go and do homework and practice to better understand how to use simple past? I'm sure you will. So that means that if you learn something, doesn't mean that you finish learning. That means there was a point in time when something you learned, but doesn't mean that you finished it. I teach English. I taught English yesterday. Did I finish teaching English? Well, obviously not. I'm in front of you. I'm doing a video class. I'm still teaching English. So if I taught English yesterday, I didn't finish. I'm still teaching. It's just yesterday I did that, but I didn't finish teaching. So that means that you have to be very careful when you start thinking that simple past is a finish. Because the time simple past is never a finish. When you mix together a moment in past with the meaning of the verb that has a finish, you can conveniently use simple past as a finish. But that doesn't mean that simple past is a finish. So let's take a look at other examples. How can you talk about past in a different way? Well, we talked about present continuous in a different video, and we talked about a simple past just a moment ago. But the question is there a past continuous? Yes, there is. Let's see how that works. Is it possible that past continuous has a start and a finish? Let's find out. Let's look at this example. In 2013, I was teaching English. So if I say that I was teaching English in 2013, that means that the period of 2013 has a starting point. It has 1st of January. 2013 has an ending point, which is December 31st. So my time reference is the year 2013. When you do the videos on prepositions, you will understand better how to use preposition in. But for now, just to remind you that in is two or more possibilities. So, in 2013, I was teaching English. Did I start on the 1st? No, I didn't. Did I finish this year? Maybe yes, maybe no. But this tense, the past continuous tense, the was teaching, does not in any way tell us about starting point or the ending. So when you're talking about teaching, you're talking about a process that took place between starting point and the ending point. Well, let's look at another example. Is it possible for me to tell you that the process actually finished in 2013? And maybe you can, and maybe you cannot. Let's take an example. I have been teaching English over 11 years. So when you look at the example, if you remember when we talk about have, and there will be a separate video on past perfect, make sure you go and check them out, it's very important. When you have a past perfect verb to be, it always requires verb to have. So verb to be is necessary to make a process one verb. So when you put together verb to be together with an ing format of the verb, in that case teaching, you get one verb. And that one verb is was teaching. In this case, it will take one verb, three parts. One part is the have, because after have we have something in past perfect, in this case verb to be, and then because it's a verb to be, we are expecting for there to be an ing. So when I say I have been teaching English for over 11 years, what does it mean? Does it have a meaning? Yes, it does. That means that when it says that for 11 years, that means that it was November 2010 is when I started teaching English. So if you take it from this point until now, which what have means, and you will see that in a special video talking about the meaning and the function of the verb have. You will remember that have means until now. So when you say that I have been teaching, you're telling me that a process of teaching started, because it's a past perfect, at a certain point, and have tells me that it continues until now. So the past perfect represents the starting point, the been represents the starting point, the have represents the ending point, which is now, and the teaching is the process of what I was doing, or the name of the process of what I was doing. So when you say I have been teaching, that this format tells me that it has a start point, it is still happening, and that's the name of the process. Can I possibly make a different structure? Can I possibly do something to tell you that I started teaching, and then I finished teaching, and then I teach no more? So how can I tell you that I teach no more? Simply changing something inside the sentence. It's very simple. The been teaching stays the same. Why? Because the been is your starting point. The been, verb to be, is necessary to make ing a verb, in this case teaching. And then I will give you a traffic light that will tell you that no longer am I teaching. All I have to do is change the verb have, which is now, to verb had, which is a past tense. Remember simple past? Is past tense before now. That means at some point in time, I started teaching and I finished teaching. So that means that if I say I had been teaching English over 11 years, that means that I started teaching English and I finished teaching English. And this time period started and finished during 11-year period. Well, let's see if there are other possibilities that we can talk about when we think about past tenses. Well, we just talked about a process that requires an ing and a verb to be together. If you're talking about a past continuous, you are using the word I was teaching or we were making videos. If I want to talk about until now with a time reference of today, then I have to change the verb to verb have as a time reference today, and I have to say I have, that means until now, I have been teaching English for 11 years. So that means that those were processes. When you're talking about ing, you're talking about process. And we will have special videos to talk about process and infinitives. But for now, we don't only have processes in English. We also have events. Remember, English is binary. That means that whatever happens has two possibilities. One possibility is a process that continues, and the other possibility is that it's an event. So when you say that I went dancing many times, when did I go dancing? Dancing is an event. It's not just a moment in time. It's an event that lasts sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours. So if I say that I went dancing, I'm using your simple past, which represents points in time before now. When I say I went dancing many times, what am I saying? Does that mean that I don't go dancing anymore? remember simple past? Does the meaning of the verb go, does it have automatic finish? It doesn't. So that means that I need to use another way to show that I no longer go dancing. If I don't do that, if I only use simple past, I am not saying that I don't go dancing anymore. There is a possibility that I still go dancing. You just don't know it. So in this case, I'm only telling you about the past. So before 2021, I have gone dancing. So now what you have the past perfect. Dancing is not a verb. Dancing is a process. We will talk about nouns in a different video, but in this case, for dancing to be a verb, it needs to have a verb to be in some format. I was dancing, I am dancing, but just dancing is not a verb. So what is a verb? The verb is have gone. The combination, if you watched my video on how to use the verb have, when you have the verb have, it tells you that after the verb have, you will have the name of the action that took place. Not an action, but a process, an action that took place. So the action that took place is go, and because it's a past perfect, it has a starting point in the past. Have, if you remember, is talking about until now. So when you start talking about until now, you have the word have to tell you that. So the minute I say I have, and I don't say anything else, that means that what I'm telling you, that something, an event or process, existed until now. And then I tell you the name of the event or the process. In this case, it's an event. I have gone home. Home is a noun. Home is a what? I have gone to school. School is a noun. So home is a noun, school is a noun, and dancing, in this case, is a noun too. So when I say that I have gone dancing, the question is, I'm telling you until now. I didn't tell you that I stopped going dancing. So the format that before 2021, I have gone dancing, all I'm telling you is information that existed before this year. After this point, I'm not telling you anything. So it can perfectly well continue, or it may not. We don't know. But we know that these events took place until this moment for sure. Is there a way to tell me or to tell you that these events have stopped happening? I cannot use simple past because go is not a verb that has a finish. So I must use another way to tell you that this event started and ended at a certain moment in time. So how do I do that? Very simple. Before 2021, which is exactly the same time reference with no changes, I had gone dancing. All I did was I changed the have, that means until now, to a had, that means no more. And that's all. So the minute you hear the expression that has a had with a past perfect verb, that is one verb that has two parts. One part tells you a binary information, whether it still exists until now or it now exists no more. And then it tells you what event or process, in this case, it's an event. Remember that when you say that before 2021 I had gone dancing, that means you started before 21, and then when 2021 stopped, which was December 31st, I did not go dancing anymore. So this is your correct solution for those who were thinking that simple past is a finish. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you go and try video homework, because without that, you will not be able to think like a native speaker easily. And I hope to see you next time. To be in my video and to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.